My friend and fellow podcaster, Mista Yu, is on the show today to share with us the importance of community, especially among men, and how it can affect our upbringing, who we are today, and just teach us the importance of why God created us to need each other. This is a very beautiful conversation that is so full of encouragement. You are going to love this episode. My name is Anna Murby. This is Honest Christian Conversations. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, thank you for spending your time with me today. For all returning listeners, I'm glad you're back. After the episode, please leave a review for the podcast if you haven't already done so. If you have, thanks so much. I appreciate reading your encouraging comments. They help me improve the content for you all. Thanks for your support. God bless and enjoy the show. Mr. Yu, thank you for coming on the show. I'm very excited to have you on, my friend.
What?
I've been on your show and now you're on my show. I've been hearing your story all over the place because you've been on other podcasts that I listen to. And you are a remarkable man, a jack of all trades. You have so many different podcasts and things you're doing. And outside of podcasting, you're doing amazing things as well. And I want to get to all of that. So before we get started on everything you're doing, give us a brief overview of who you are. How did you come to be Mr. Yu?
A brief overview. This is going to be fun.
Yes, 2 lines. That's it. That's
Yeah,
all you get.
that's right. I think the whole Mr. You thing, and people just, I know, well, at least I think that they're thinking that this is all my idea and I came up with this. I'm like, because, you understand the whole introvert life same way as I do.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things that we don't want spotlight on.
Yeah.
It's not so much that we're so shy that we can't communicate. I think it's a myth, but this is just some things that we get our energy from different places.
Mhm.
And we don't want to be around a lot of people per se. We have to be around parties and parades to feel good about ourselves.
Yeah.
And we don't want our name and our face and our voice, even especially our voices, out into on the whole interweb.
I know,
So
which is
when I
ironic because we're both podcasters.
that's the fun part of the
Yep.
hypocrisy. It makes us laugh.
Yep.
But coming from New York, nobody had a problem saying my name up there in the tri-state area. It wasn't hard for me to say my full name, Yusef. When I moved to the South, it was a daily tutorial. Movie theater, supermarket, the gym, wherever I was, I had to constantly help people pronounce my name appropriately and correctly. I got tired of that. So you can call me
Yeah.
you. Well, it translated into a church that we were a part of. We're still there now. We've been there almost 5 years now. And honestly, people were struggling with it there too. And it happened to be Southern folks. Coincidence? It's not for me to say. But they couldn't say my name. I'm like, I can't do this. We're gonna be here fellowshipping for who knows how many years. We don't need to, you can just call me you. Well, it translated to their children. And now when I walk into the building and the kids see me in the lobby or when they're coming out of the Sunday school after church, hey Mr. You. That's literally how it started. So now the children and the parents have adopted it. As a matter of fact, I don't know anybody that calls me by my first name at all. My own mother doesn't call me by my first name. How? Through that and this podcast, people call me Mr. You everywhere. And if it's not my doing, wasn't my plan, I accept it because I answered to it. But
Yeah.
it's all them. So I don't know who to give the credit to. The podcast, the children, I don't know who the credit for, but it's not my thing. But I'm a former musician, singer, songwriter. I'm still doing that now, just in a different genre. Former government worker, former author, former a whole bunch of stuff. Former life coach, former public speaker, a whole bunch of former stuff. But I'm doing some new things to kind of bring some of that back. So that's kind of where I was before and now where I am now.
Yeah.
Moving into some new things. So excited about it.
And let's talk about some of those new things because you are all about equipping, empowering men to be the man of God they need to be. And I love that about you, that you just want to help men have connection and community. Community is really big with you. I've heard you talk about it when we talk outside of podcasting, since we're friends. I've heard you talk about it. We're in a couple communities together as well. So, community is a big thing for you. Why is that?
I'm going to dispel a myth that people have about the area where I'm from,
Mhm.
the idea of this is that people think New York is just this dog eat dog. I mean, they read stuff in the magazines and watch stuff on TV and in movies. They don't even, if you haven't lived there, you don't get the full picture. You may get some aspects of it, but not the full picture.
Mhm.
The neighborhood I grew up in, guess what it was? It was the same adage, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
I saw that, and that's a total departure from what people think New York is all about.
Mhm.
It's like, worry about yourself. And I mean, yes, I've been known to step over prone, perhaps dead bodies because I didn't want to get involved. I've done that. I'm just being honest about it. I don't stop for everybody that's laying on the ground. If I was living in New York, I would move past them. Don't want to get caught up in some kind of a scam or get caught up in something that, it's not your
Yeah.
business. So I grew up learning that part as well. So that part is accurate. It is fair. But that takes a village to raise a child thing is a real thing. If I messed up in those streets, the neighbor got me, and then when I went home, mama got me too. So it's a real thing, it's a real community. But I realized from that situation and even in more recent occurrences that we grow from community. We actually grow from community. And people who try to hide and isolate themselves, you don't grow. Matter of fact, your perspective is warped. And what you find yourself doing is seeing things that's almost like a mirage. It's not really there. It's not
Yeah.
really what's actually happening. And somebody has to come in from the outside to tell you something that you see all the time, 24/7, 365, and it's not even real. It's an illusion. And one of the things that I value most is community because I see how it's changed me, how I grew up.
Mhm.
The whole introvert thing, I rode that horse for quite a while. I have to adjust how I'm doing that. I can't use that as an excuse like I used to do, which I did. Because you know what?
Me too.
I won't be bothered with these people, these knuckleheads. I won't be bothered with them. I'm gonna stay home because I'm an introvert. That's not fair to all introverts. That's expanding the label beyond where it needs to be. But for me, I just value community because I see how it grows and changes us, and it's kind of what sparked the Men's Roundtable podcast series that we're doing. And every month we have men come from all over the world now to have a safe space to discuss issues that are germane to men. And everybody that comes through from all kind of walks of life, all kind of tragic childhoods, people who are, I guess, shy, don't want to be on camera. Every type is on this show. And it says that, what, it's been galvanizing. What it says to me is that, you know what, we can all bring something to the table and we can all learn something from what's being brought to the table. So for me, community is a big deal. I think all of our answers that we have, the ones that we cry out to God for, we're looking to heaven for these answers. And it's like, and historically, if you read the Bible, you see that God puts the answers inside the community. That's
Mm.
why he says, don't abstain from the fellowship of one another, you know,
Mhm.
as is common in the day. Because people they look to the heavens for the answer as opposed to looking in the community where the answer has been put.
Mm.
Because whether it's children of Israel all the way back to to current, you know, that's how God functions. That's how He operates. He operates in community. The answer to prayers in the community. I don't
Yeah.
care if it's a husband. I don't care if it's a job. I don't care if it's a purpose for doing ministry or some kind of service work. It's always found inside the community. If you're isolated by yourself, it's not going to find you in the basement next to your hot Cheetos. It's not going to happen. You get the answer in community when you're giving of yourself to others. That's when you find the answers to these big needs that you have.
Yeah. I'm thinking of when Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane and he invited a couple of his disciples to come with him. And he was very upset that they were sleeping rather than praying and keeping watch and supporting him, basically, is what that was, is he was upset his friends, his posse, if you will, were not supporting him and were not helping themselves as well, because when you're in community everyone benefits, and we saw how that went over with the cutting off of the ear of the person trying to take Jesus and
Mhm.
denying him later. So if our Lord and Savior while here on this earth had community, why would we think we don't need community? And I'm preaching this to
Yeah.
myself as well, because for the
Uh-oh.
longest time, I didn't want community either. I didn't want to have friends. Friends only hurt you, they only ignored you, they did things without you, and it always felt spiteful. And it probably wasn't, but that's just how it felt to me because I was the ultimate insecure introvert who just didn't need anybody. I was always on my own. I enjoy doing things on my own. I don't need anybody. And being a mom now and unfortunately my seasoned years of recent, I have realized the importance of having a community, and I have really good friends now. Ones that I know personally, ones that I've met like you through Podmatch and podcasting, and we may not see each other, but we still get to reach out and say, hey, pray for me, will you do this, you ask how my family's doing, you care. Like, these things matter. We all need this in our life, and like you said, you don't grow when you're by yourself.
Mm-mm.
There's no reason, there's no incentive, no one's there to spur you on to do something better. And that's why I think your podcast, your Roundtable for Men, is a really good resource for men to join in and just have a conversation. They're having
Yeah,
a bad day as a man. Who better to talk to than other men who may be going through the same thing?
it's not. It's really not. It's not rocket science. I'm not even sure it's revolutionary. I just know it's effective.
Mhm.
I'm hearing men, and if you watch any of the episodes, we've been doing this since June. We do once a month. If you've watched any of them, I mean, I don't mind that women watch it. 'Cause I hear from women after the show, stuff about, I love. I wish my husband would do this. I love this. I love that. So I'm right? Just don't come in the chat. I'm not
Yeah,
going to acknowledge you. That's the only thing I'm asking. This is a safe space for them. I want them to be as safe as they can. Although it's on all social media platforms, it's still a safe space. So I get the hypocrisy of that, but it's still a safe space, and I want them to, recognize it as such. But I mean, man, it's not rocket science. It's just, taking the opportunity to be transparent and knowing, you know what, that you can do that, and nobody's going to come at you. Nobody's going to come
yeah,
after you or weaponize what you say to try to hurt you. So once men realize that, I mean, I got people coming in all the time that want to be panelists, and
yeah.
I hope that grows. Hope the groups in the different cities that these panelists are in begin to grow. That's the whole vision.
Mhm.
Start those men that you pass by 3 to 5, three to five men you pass by every day. Touch,
Yeah,
touch, touch them with that, and begin to start building that in your neck of the woods. It's powerful. It's a mission, if
yeah.
you will,
Mm,
for lack of a better word, but it's a worthy mission.
yeah, I agree. So you also have a podcast that is also probably tailored towards men. I'm sure women also listen to it, but I've seen it a couple times on my feed because I subscribe to all your different shows. But I see you posting videos that have to do with football, which, obviously men are mostly into that. I mean, I'm not.
Are you sure?
But but yeah, I just love how you care so much about men that you are willing to do the hard work to put in effort towards things that men, relate to, and like I said, a space where men can feel comfortable that they can open up, and they see that you're just an average guy. You're not just like, "Ooh, I just wanna hear what you have to say, and I'll just be like a counselor to you." But no, you're just an average guy who also likes sports, who wants to talk about the things that men like to talk about all around, and I really like that about you, is that you're just easy to get along with, you're easy to talk to, and any man who doesn't want to spend time talking to you is missing out, in my opinion, because you are a genuine person who cares a lot, and you have all these big ideas of the things that you want to do. And I'm honored that I get to be a small part of helping you with some of that, and,
You're a big
being
part.
in a community with you.
You're a big part. I need you.
Thank you. So, what other podcast do you have? You have the one that I was on one with Mr. You.
That was
Talk about that. What do you do on that podcast?
that one is just an opportunity to kind of just hope and encouragement are buzzwords when it comes to that. I want people to get that, you know what? As bad as you think your life is, check this out. This person has done this and they were able to accomplish this success in life. I think that show is just designed to be an excuse remover.
Mm,
I aspire to live like that myself personally.
mhm,
So I really want the show to be that. We hear from people all around the world now. It's definitely a global. I mean, we just had an interview not long ago from somebody in the UK. It's global now. Well, it's been global from the beginning, to be honest with you. My first guest was somebody from Poland. So
Oh, wow, cool.
so it was global from the very beginning. The point is that I want to have actionable tips and strategies to help people in every aspect of life. People who
Mhm,
may be going through career transition or job loss completely, want to venture into entrepreneurship, want to be more effective in podcasting, relationship. We talk about everything on that show. And I'm like,
yeah.
people come in, they're dating experts. I'm like, dating experts. I never thought I'd be doing this. They come in, but I interviewed the love doctor. I'm like, the love doctor. I mean, so this is getting way beyond me. But the whole point that to remove excuses, people have
Yeah,
real life hard stuff that happens to them, and guess what? They keep going. And I hope that that's the kind of encouragement we can get out of that. Everybody that comes through, they're not uh, Christians like we are, and I'm okay with that. I just want them to be, because inside of them, I know there's a DNA, there's an element inside of them that matters to this world, that has life changing, world changing ability in it.
mhm,
All I do in the interviews is try to bring it out. That's all I'm
yeah,
trying to accomplish. Along with making them look good in the process of raising their profile and helping them get more readers for their books or clients for their companies, that kind of thing. So it's my only
yeah.
goal. I don't have a motive. My numbers are not here, and I'm just trying to just help the people raise their profile, and hopefully, if that comes back to help me in some way, fantastic. But the goal is to just kind of put hope and encouragement out there and remove the excuses because we use that too much, and it's time for us to get to work. Put
Yeah.
these boots on and start taking care of some business out here and making a difference in a little small sphere that we have available to us. So that's what the show is, man.
Hey, friends, I wanted to tell you about my personal experience with Exodus Strong. If you aren't sure what it's about, it's a biblical and holistic supplement that has 7 herbs, and that's it. This is an amazing product. Since I have been taking it, I have not felt anger towards my children or my husband nearly as much as I used to. The anger fits are practically gone. Hallelujah. I know my family is singing those praises. I feel like a completely different woman. I feel more relaxed, more even keeled. I'm sleeping better. I'm feeling more focused, which is great because I'm learning a second language. And I just overall feel like a better person than I did before when I was full of my anger. And I am so excited to share this with you. The prayer guide that comes along with it is also a blessing that keeps you close to God. I feel more close to God since I have been more regulated in my emotional state. If you need help focusing, if you need help with your stress levels, if you need help with your blood sugar levels, this product is going to be great for you. I encourage you to check it out. The link will be in the show notes. And if you want to know more about the founder of Exodus Strong, go back and listen to the episode that I did for the podcast with Rob Renee. You are going to be so blessed. Yeah. God uses everything, and
Mhm.
sometimes He uses people who aren't believers to speak to even believers. And like you said, it's an excuse remover show. I love that. You should put that as the description for the show of what it is.
Sure.
It's very interesting and would get people thinking. But it is an absolute look at what this person went through, but they still were able to accomplish something. There's no excuse for you. No one is that unique that their situation is completely different.
And you think they
And
are.
yeah, exactly. So I love it. I love it. Inspiration Station. Tell us about that. What do you do on that?
Oh goodness, that's the show that it started from our original flagship show, but it's just opportunity for me to kind of just speak to people one on one. There's no guests. It's often about things that are just on my heart. It could just be things that I'm inspired with. If it's lacking episodes that happen during the given month, it just means I'm not inspired. I'm not gonna
You
lie.
gotta let the Holy Spirit do what he gotta
I'm
do.
not
And if
inspired. I'm
yep,
not gonna hit record on
yep.
that particular show. It has to mean something.
And
Um,
that's what I love about you. You are intentional with everything you do.
I'm trying to be. It's
Yeah.
just an opportunity to kind of speak to. I even speak to things going on in our world around us.
Mhm.
Try to give a not a biblical perspective, but just show the other side of the coin.
Mhm.
Because even with all the things that you can look at as despair, I had a couple of episodes recently that I invite you to take a listen to. That's kind of what that was. There's a lot of things that can be despair for us that we can just lament about what's happening. I just want to bring some hope and say, you know what? That's a true thing that's happening. It's a fact, but it's not the truth. So inspiration station is hopefully me sharing the truth of what situations are going on around us, and just encourage folks and just give them some tips. So it's kind of a it sounds like some of the other shows, but it's just me one on one with the whole listening audience, kind of sharing those things and giving that back. And it's probably the one that I hear the least comments about. I'm not moved by that. I'm gonna keep on working because I'm the person.
Yep. Do
Yeah,
what you gotta do.
I'm doing that. I'm trying anyway.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you were a former life coach, and you also mentioned that you are planning on bringing some of the things that were former back in a different way. What are those things?
Yeah, I was a former life coach in regard that I was doing personal and business life coaching for about 25 years or so.
Was that while you were a believer or no?
Yeah. The
Okay.
entire time. I didn't touch it before that. Before that, I was a singer and a songwriter. I was doing gigs in clubs and trying to get a record deal before
Mm,
that. But after that, yeah, I was doing that for about 25 years or so. People who were starting new businesses, I would help them kind of get on their feet and get going, help them get clients and stuff, or at least show them how to do that. From the personal side, a lot of it was spiritual in nature. You know what? Feeling like I'm understanding why I'm here, purpose driven kind of
mhm,
issues. So we helping with that. I've been doing it for a long time, but I guess for me because I'm not really focusing on that as much now. I'm
okay.
focusing more on solopreneurs, but at the same time, I recognize that if someone approaches me or they just are willing to take a chance on me as a coach, I'm in the high performance coaching realm now. So I'm just dealing with high achievers or people who say high achievers. I'm going to cut anybody out of that, but my focus is solopreneurs and high achievers only because they recognize that they want something. I'm not saying they know how to get there, but they know they want something and they don't know how to do it
Mhm.
on their own. So that's kind of where I come in. So this is a new sort like that's why I said I used to do it retired as a life coach in that respect. But if those folks have those same issues that come to me now, I told my coach, I can't turn them away. I was there for 25 plus years. I know what I'm doing. If they come to me, I'm going to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to probably have to pay me, but I'm going to help them because that's what I was in. I was in that life, and only reason why I could even coach them all those years is because I was in it and was able to come through it.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna definitely help them with that. But that's why I said formal. But yeah, the high performance coach thing is a new venture. Everyday Edge Coaching is the name of our company. So I'm excited about that. We got a landing page and we're getting some looks at it and everything. But there's some more work to be done. But that's kind of the new foray. That's kind of one of the things that I guess I'm bringing back because I thought, but like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just done with that. I didn't have any more clients anymore. Just a lot of things happening. We moved from Florida to here. I'm like, maybe I'm done. But it got resurrected. And
Yeah.
now I'm ready to roll now.
God's doing
I'm
some
excited.
stuff.
I'm
Yep.
excited.
Well, let's go back to how you said community when you were a child was very important to you. And let's talk about how God got a hold of you in the first place.
Hmm.
How did you come to faith in Christ? And did your community back then have any significant leading into that, I guess? Like was your community instrumental in bringing you to faith or was it keeping you from it, I guess?
I'm gonna say neither.
Mm.
I don't see it, and this could be one of those deals, but you know what? Maybe some revelation or an epiphany will come down the line. Right now, no, I don't see that they kept me from it. I mean, like any other place in our country, you're gonna find places where people are not doing what you what you need to be doing, but they all
Mhm.
around you. So they didn't keep me from it, but I don't see where they really encourage it either.
Mhm.
Uh, I come from a deeply religious family, and I chose those words specifically for a reason. Uh, and they have their, beliefs that they stand by for as long as I've known them. Uh, but for me, a lot of the approaches, the methodology that I was seeing, it wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it was because of the kind of kid I was, I was one of those deep thinker, deep readers, was like, questioning a lot of stuff. So I'm not quite sure if it's like, you know what, this is not matching up with what I'm seeing, or maybe it was just bland and kind of vanilla to me, and
Mhm.
not what I needed as a kid in a high energy environment like New York City. I'm like, I kind of needed something that I wasn't seeing. It could be a combination of those things. But the short story is during that time, I got caught up with a cult.
Mm.
Anybody that's a young black and brown person. It can happen to anybody really, but black and brown folks in that time, in that age, were very susceptible to being caught up with gangs and cults and things of that nature, with
Mhm.
if you will. Especially when you have a father in the household, you kind of you're kind of on your own a good bit. I was the latchkey kid when I was like 11.
Mm.
So mom was working, going to school and working two jobs, and I was at home trying to make us something to eat in the oven, basically. So I saw that around me a lot. I sort of the religion, but it was like there was just no oomph. I felt
Yeah.
like something was empty. It was kind of like it was something empty about it. And during that time, I got caught up with a cult, one of the Islamic varieties, and I was just kind of thinking, you know what, this is the answer. They offer brotherhood and friendship and community, and I didn't read the fine print.
Mm. We rarely do with
What
things.
what they what they what they offered wasn't exactly what I got.
Yeah.
So I quickly transitioned out of that. Well, quickly, 10 years. I transitioned out of that. And I was at the same in the middle of that transition, in the middle of that valley I was in of decision making, I was the victim of an armed robbery. This young man had a gun to my face, about 3 inches from my face, hand
Wow.
shaking violently with his finger on the trigger. So who does that? You don't put your finger on the trigger. That's not even gun etiquette. But he had his finger on the trigger, and it was really close to my face, and his hand was shaking violently. I figured, like, you know what? In my mind, the kind of person I was thinking, I can take him. I can I can get his gun out of his hand. I can put him down. I know I can. But I felt like there was an overwhelming sense of peace and calm, and as well as don't do that.
Yeah.
I feel all those things all in one flush. So after that situation, I was like, what, 4 doors, 5 doors from my mother's house where I
Mm.
was staying at the time. I'm like, man, this was my life. After the adrenaline ran off, faded away. I'm like, that was I could have went out like this.
Mm.
That's not a way to live. I haven't accomplished anything in life, in my opinion. I just worked and tried to be a good son. That's not enough of a legacy for me. I want to do more than that. So I did what people do in the movies, looked my eyes to the sky and said, God, if you're real, I need you to show me. And it took many years after that before I really came into what I would call the knowledge. But that was a turning point. I can't say that the neighborhood, well, if you want to count that incident, pushed me into that spot. But I was already thinking, man, I had a lot of questions like, man, people saying that they serve God and love God, whether it's in Islam or whatever. It's like, man, this is not viable. This is not authentic. I'm
Mhm.
not seeing it. People who I watched growing up in our family and family friends, they talked about God and how much they love God on Sunday, but man, they showed out on Friday and Saturday. I'm like, what? Can you do this? Is this legit?
Mm.
I didn't understand. I'm like, there was a big dichotomy here, and I wouldn't understand. I'm like, this can't be this holiness and oh my God, unholiness. This come out of the same person. So
Yeah.
I had a lot of conflict. So that was probably the turning point to quickly answer that question. A lot of things happened after that to kind of help
Mhm.
grow me, but that was kind of how it happened, though. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think I would say that your community did actually play a part in you coming to faith. Maybe not in the way that, they were pushing you to it, but in a sense, they were pushing you to it because, like you just mentioned, you're looking at them, "Oh, they talk about Jesus on Sunday, but what are you doing over the weekend? This doesn't
Showing out.
seem right." It's like, "This doesn't seem right." So, in a sense, that was getting you to understand more that there's something off here. I don't know what it is, but there is something going on here, and I don't think I like it. And that gave you this hunger to want to figure out what it is exactly that is the situation. So I
Absolutely.
would say that, yeah, they did help
All
you.
right, you got me, Anna. You got me.
Yep. Well, I have enjoyed talking to you as I always do. You're a
Yeah.
great friend,
We're fun.
and the more that I hear you talking about your story, the things you're passionate about, why community matters to you, the more I just respect you so much, more than I already do.
Excellent.
Because
Very humble.
you are a very caring person, you are a very honest person,
I'm trying.
you're vulnerable, and you're willing to just have conversation with people, and you want to see them do better in their lives, and that's why you've started all these different podcasts. They may just be podcasts to some people, but to you, I believe they're communities.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to get involved in any of these communities, where would they go to do that?
But I don't know. The link is so long. I'm like, how do I?
I will
Yeah.
put it in the show notes.
Okay, I'm like, it's
So,
so long. I'm
yeah.
like, how do I get
Well,
the whole thing in
I
there?
know you gotta figure that out. If you need help, I can help you. I'm pretty good with that kind of stuff, so I can help you with that.
Yeah, it's a
But,
lot.
yeah, I will leave it in the show notes, everybody, because he has some great shows, and he's an honest and vulnerable person that you're going to want to listen to, so make sure you check out all or some of his things.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you, Misty Yu, for coming on and talking with
My
me. I
pleasure.
appreciate the time.
Love your show. Thank you.
Thank you. Friends, did you enjoy the episode? I'm so glad to hear it. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or my website, honestchristianconversations.com. Your reviews help boost the podcast in the ratings, so let's make these honest conversations more accessible to those who need them. Be sure to follow the show so you never miss another episode. And while you're doing that, why not share the podcast with someone? Thank you for spending time with me today. I look forward to our next conversation.